This is just a little video I made of flying around outside of Middlebury, Vermont with a new quadcopter, little 5-inch quadcopter that I built. And I just want to take you through the process that I went through building this thing. I spent a lot of time over the last 5 or 6 years building and crashing our seaplanes and rebuilding. And so now it's time to do that with some quadcopters. And playing around with the camera drones, I kind of missed the crashing, and so here you go. Here's the thrill of this thing. There I hit the telephone lines, and this thing is unbelievably resilient. Yeah, that's baby fawn color of paint, Flora.
Flora.
And that is Flora color of paint. You're right. So I'm just gonna kind of walk through, like, what I've enjoyed about this process and some of the choices that I made. There is really nothing quite like the feeling of floating and flying. And it's kind of like mountain biking and skiing and all those great things mixed together. So carbon fiber frame, big old arms, hopefully pretty resilient. I went with a little more weight and a little less fragileness. Here I am building. Kind of fun to put the frame together. Got some good splinters, and that's actually this is really enjoyable. Once you get to the computer work, it's a little bit more difficult to really know what you're doing wrong. This is pretty clear how it all goes together. You see motor getting ready to go in. End up with a whole rat's nest of wires. Each motor is a brushless direct current motor, so it ends up having 12 wires here. There's the ESC that sends the signal to the motor and divides up that current. And boy, every step of this process, right there, I'm chopping wires. Every step of this process is just you can't turn back in a lot of it. And so you cut your wires and you hope they're the right length because you can't add them back. And this is just this is pure gold right here. Watch me struggle. Oh, I'm terrible at this. It is funny to, in all the videos I watched online, you kind of think, wow, what are they doing? It looks so difficult. And
No.
Hey, Flora, what's wrong? Can you let me
Why are you talking?
make fun of myself?
Why are you talking?
Well, I'm talking about this video. I'm making fun of myself.
Why?
Because it's funny. So anyway, it does feel good when you finally start getting it, getting a solder to stick. It really does feel good, and I think that's true for a lot of this process. It is difficult, nerve-wracking every step of the way, but boy, when it works, it's a good feeling. I'm putting in the power lead here, and I think just doing it helps you get a little better. There's a capacitor supposed to help with some of the signal problems that you might get with a 6S battery, and I'm using a 4S battery, so I ended up taking that thing out. I used a slammed frame. That is not something I'll do again. It is just so tight you can't fit anything in, and it's a puzzle how to get everything around it. Right there, I've got my flight controller, the little blue and black thing in there. That's kind of the brain of this whole thing. Everything kind of gets hooked into that. I've got the smoke stopper. That is basically just a fuse. It shuts off the current when you make a mistake. You put that capacitor in backwards or whatever. Maybe it would shut off before that thing blew up. There, it failed, and eventually worked. I knew it was going to work. This is actually many weeks into the process, and I'd had the battery directly attached a whole bunch of times. But at this point, I still hadn't ever had video working, which is why I put this in, because this was one of those feel good moments where I kind of got everything to end up working. Boy, lots of software that's coming up on this thing, but just getting the motors to spin the right direction. You've got to flash the right software Oh, look at that look. Look, what am I looking at?
Oh my God.
Does that say the video is attached to the audio? Oh, let me fix that. So a lot of that kind of thing. Oh, geez, why doesn't my video ever work? This was, oh, look at that. And so lots of those little silly steps along the way of just, oh my gosh, I can't believe I made that mistake or this mistake, or I ordered the wrong camera, or my receiver doesn't seem to work right. I had a couple different receivers soldered into this thing. I think every solder joint I probably made like 5 times in the end, and was no longer feeling that struggle with soldering, more just with where things are supposed to go. That's beeper. Hopefully I don't ever have to use that, but if it's lost, that's really nice. Putting in a microphone, that way I get some sound. And next thing you're gonna see is just this whole, jumble. Everything's attached and wires are cut to the right length and everything kind of works out right here. But it is really difficult to get everything spaced out and fit in correctly. Battery charger. You can see me charging the battery to a lower than acceptable voltage. And now we get into some of the software stuff. So this is Betaflight. Betaflight's really cool. Thanks, guys. This is some good stuff. So in here, I'm able to flash the whatever I need to the flight controller. I can see how my receiver and transmitter are working. That's what I'm playing with here. You can see what the thing will do when I move my sticks in a certain way. I'm able to assign channels. So on the left there, it says arm, angle, horizon, all these things. So basically I'm taking my inputs on my sticks and assigning them to some action on the machine by changing the frequency here. If I say channel aux2 will activate a beeper when my stick is in a certain position, and that's what you're seeing here. That's pretty gratifying. So like I said before, every step along the way is just this process of, am I going to wreck it right now? Am I going to make a mistake that's irreversible? Lifting off for the first time, definitely another one of those. It's not beautiful, and but it's definitely thrilling. It goes up and comes down, and that's about it. But it feels pretty wild to have several weeks of work hanging on propellers. This is my first flight in the goggles, and again, just kind of bopping around, seeing what's going on here. And once I land here, then I go out and actually fly. And that's what it's all about. Here we go.